What's up, everybody? Welcome. Hello, hello. I hope everyone is doing well. Just let me know that you can hear me okay. Hello, hello. What's up? I hope everyone is doing well today. It is a beautiful day here in Nevada. I hope it is for you guys too. Hey, Juanita, thank you so much. Hello, hello. Awesome. Thank you, Mary and Elizabeth and everyone. Awesome. Good, good, good. Looks like everyone can hear me well. Perfect. Alrighty. So, I have so many things to share with you today, so I'm going to go ahead and close the chat so we can get started. And what's up? Welcome, everybody. As you can see, it is me today. This is a Unicorn Network webinar. So we have a whole bunch of Unicorn Network things to talk about today. And boy, I think you will be quite impressed and quite excited. As always, though, of course, we cover so many different things in our whole network. It is impossible to update you on every tiny detail in one webinar. Plus, sometimes things are in between updates. So, whatever topic that you are interested in hearing about that is not updated today, be sure to keep an eye out in WhatsApp, in the announcements for further updates as available on your favorite topics. So always keep that in mind. Regardless, though, I have a ton of great information for you today. So I'm sure that you will be learning something that you are interested in and maybe even more. So that is fantastic. So what is our first topic today? Let's talk about fishing. And I'm not talking about fishing where you catch fish in water. That's not the type of fishing I'm talking about. I am talking about the fishing to do with cybersecurity. Of course, we love to have security in the Safe Zone and with Unicorn Network. So that has not changed. So what is phishing? Phishing, it's spelled with a PH, is a type of social engineering attack. Phishing is a way for criminals to access your data and devices by tricking you to think it is legitimate. The top 3 cybersecurity threats are forms of phishing. And some of the most common ways that phishing happens is through email, video conferencing platforms, messaging platforms, cloud-based file sharing platforms, SMS or text messages to your phone, software as a service, plus many others. And you might think that phishing is, maybe not something that you need to be concerned about. However, you would be wrong. So let's find out, how do you get tricked with phishing? First, you're given bait. And this is what I meant by how some of these actions happen through email, phone calls, SMS messages, etc. That is the bait that they give you. Everyone has seen those emails, and it says, you have an invoice due, or click here to save money on your car insurance, or your car warranty is expired, or even things dealing with the government. As far as like in America, we see things related to your social security number, or you might get sent an email with an attachment that has like your some kind of quote unquote medical bill, that you have to pay. And you might be tempted when you receive these emails or phone calls or text messages like, oh my gosh, I need to take action. I need to look at this. Well, that's where you need to be super, super careful, because the bait, the email, the text message, or the phone call that you get comes with a hook. And the hook is a fake website or a malicious download. Those fake invoices, when you download them on your computer, it actually activates some kind of virus or malware that will totally mess up things for you. So when you get these phishing messages, they come with that hook, the fake website. Oh, click here to, confirm your order, or whatever it says. You get hooked when you do some action. So if you open that email, or you download the attachment, or you click and visit the website, or you call the fake call center, or you reply to the phishing email, this is when you're getting yourself hooked with this phishing scheme, okay? So then the hook goes even deeper the more actions that you take. If you're entering info on the fake website, or you're providing info to the fake call center, or you're replying to the fake SMS, the fake text message, or maybe you open that malicious attachment. The more that you do these actions, then finally you are caught. Your device is infected with ransomware or malware, or data is compromised in some way. You have to understand, it is super important to understand that it is your actions which essentially set the hook and get you caught. So you can take actions in specific ways to prevent you from this kind of situation. And we're going to talk more about all those things here in just a moment. But first, again, I mentioned maybe you think that this is not quite such a big deal. However, it absolutely is a big deal. We found an article with 15 different phishing attack statistics, and we're going to go through a few of them together. The first one being last year in 2021. Now, of course, this report came out in March of 2022. So talking about in 2021, roughly 214,345 unique phishing websites were identified. And the number of recent phishing attacks doubled since early 2020. And that was just in 2021 alone. And they estimate, we don't have all the full numbers from 2022 yet because it's just January 2023. So they estimated, based on the 2021 data, that these numbers would be increasing in 2022. Now, another statistic, 30% of phishing emails are opened. This increases the probability of an individual unintentionally clicking on a malicious link or downloading a compelling looking document that is laced with malware. That was where I was talking about. You get the bait, which is like a phishing email, for example, and in that email, it might have a malicious link to a fake website, or, well, it's a real website, but it is copying maybe a legitimate website. This is a malicious website, and that's part of what they do. They make these phony websites so close to the legitimate website that you need to be very, very careful about how you interact with these sites, or if you do at all. Your best bet is to not go there, period. And they might try to make documents look very compelling, like, oh, this is a real bill coming to you, or a real message from some government agency or some police agency or something. but it's not. It's totally a phishing email in many cases, especially the ones we're talking about. Another statistic, 1 in 99 emails is a phishing attack. If less than 1% attack rate doesn't scare you, the fact that 25% of these emails manage to make their way into Office 365 inboxes just might. Office 365 represents one of the most commonly used email clients, with 60 million commercial users and 50,000 small business customers worldwide. So this is something that everyone needs to be aware of, whether you own a business or you work for a business, or you have your own thing that you're doing for yourself, even if it is just personal emails. All of us have to be aware of these kinds of cybersecurity threats. Another statistic, roughly 90% of data breaches occur on account of phishing. According to the U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation, phishing attacks may increase as much as 400% year over year. So that's what I was talking about. And this is numbers from 2021 based on that data that came out in March of 2022. So based on that, what happened during 2022 could be crazy. And what will happen in 2023 and going forward could be even worse. So it's definitely in our best interest to pay attention to these things. Another statistic, roughly 65% of cyber attackers have leveraged spear phishing emails as a primary attack vector. So we found that 30% of phishing emails get opened. 1 in 99 emails is a phishing attack. 90% of data breaches occur because of phishing, and 65% of cyber attackers are using spear phishing emails as their first primary attack vector. So this is the first weapon they use, is phishing emails. Another statistic, when asked about the impact of successful phishing attacks, 60% of security leaders stated that their organization lost data. 52% experienced credential compromise, and 47% of organizations contended with ransomware. This is absolutely crazy that so many companies out there are experiencing these attacks and this level of data breach and compromise. Another statistic, in more eye-opening phishing attack statistics, although 93% of organizations measure the cost of phishing attacks in some way, only 60% of such organizations offer formal cybersecurity education to their users. So here you are today. We are yet again among those 60% that are offering this education to our users. And we've been talking about various different security and privacy concerns and how to be better all along since we started way back in 2011. So we're just keep continuing that process. Because of course, security is one of our core values in the Unicorn Network. So it makes absolute sense. And you can't protect your privacy without security. So there you have it. Another statistic. In relation to phishing, the most heavily targeted sectors have historically included financial institutions, social media enterprises, the software as a service industry, that's the SaaS, webmail services, and retail vendors. And with Unicorn Network, we are involved in a lot of those various different sectors. So it is very important that we talk about these things. And another statistic, the last one I'll share in this 84% of US-based organizations state that security awareness training has lowered phishing failure rates. Now, let me explain what is a phishing failure rate. So, as we saw that 30% of phishing emails are open. So, out of that 30%, how many are truly successful? And that is what is called the phishing failure rate. So companies usually measure this as, I've seen numbers as high as 20%. That means that the phishing failure rate is 20% of those phishing emails are making it through in that company. Okay? So this is a terrible number. I mean, holy cannoli. Why would you want 20% of these type of attacks actually succeeding in your company? So, but those are numbers that they use. A lot of them are 5% or 3% or stuff like that. But the point, though, is the overall point is that education is key to stopping this kind of attack. And it happens so often that it's important that we do talk about these things. So what are the costs of phishing attacks? Well, as you can see, the cost of phishing attacks for businesses, it comes with business email compromise. And you can see on the right side, there are a little graph from the 2022 State of the Phish report. And then on the left side, we have some other information about the top 10 costs of phishing, and then with some statistics thrown in. But you can see the list that you have on the left, you can see how much it applies to businesses on the right there, and then some additional factors as well. So credential compromise, which is number 2 in the list, happens 48% of the time, you can see. Or malware and ransomware, that can happen 27% of the time for malware other than ransomware. And then you can see ransomware happens 46% of the time. And a lot of it is the payload, the virus, the ransomware is delivered via email. So you can see there's a whole bunch of things that a company would have to deal with when they are the victim of one of these phishing attacks. Everything from the business email compromise to credential compromise, malware, ransomware. Employee productivity would go down. Mental health and well-being is a factor in everything while you're dealing with all of this craziness. And then, of course, you have brand damage and PR. Now, they do say that no news is bad news when it comes to PR. However, at the same time, some bad news is really bad news, and it will definitely affect your bottom line. So then on top of it, you have the legal and regulatory challenges that you have to deal with. You might have to pay increased insurance premiums. And then, of course, you've got to increase your security budget and work on prevention even further. So since we've learned that 86% of organizations reported getting phished in 2021, and this is expected to increase, this means it is costing organizations an average of $4.65 million per data breach. And I don't know about you, but I don't have 4.6 million sitting around in my back pocket, you know. And I know most businesses do not have that kind of money either. So this translates to an average cost of $161 per lost or stolen record, which is a crazy expense for a business to have to cover. Many businesses will not survive these kinds of attacks. You know, they might make it through initially, but because the cost to fix the situation is so huge, sometimes it will shut a business down. And, you know, and it could be so easily avoided. So how do we stop phishing? I mentioned previously, it is education. Stop clicking links or downloading things where you don't know. If you are not 1,000% sure it is okay, delete it. Absolutely. Just delete it. Don't even open it. Don't download it. Don't click on it. Just delete it. Be sure the websites you visit are legitimate. If you are not 1,000% sure it is okay, leave it. Leave the website. Close the website. Close your browser. Clear your cookies and cache and your history, and just don't go there. Do not fall for phishing SMS or phone calls. So when you get those text messages saying you've won some prize, or that your Amazon order is late, or whatever they're trying to say to you, if you're not 1,000% sure it is okay, block it. And if you ever enter info on a fake website, change your password immediately. Go to the legitimate website where you know it is legitimate and make sure that you change your password immediately. That can be the difference between you saving your account and learning your lesson the easy way, from all of a sudden now you are stuck with ransomware, your whole computer is messed up, and now you just have a huge mess that you need to clean up. So when in doubt, ignore it. Get away from it. Now, so far, thankfully, knock on wood, we are not aware of any phishing website targeting the Unicorn Network or any related website. But it could happen in the future. As you saw in the statistics that I shared, it is astronomical how many phishing attacks happen every year. And so thus, our cybersecurity experts developed a feature that makes it impossible to fool our members. This feature is so powerful, we named it our secret weapon. You want to see what it is? Oh, wait. How could this be our secret weapon? Hang on. This was not the slide I want to show you. Let me go to the next one. Wait. Oh. You might be kind of confused right now, but that's right. We are beating cyber attackers with cuteness. And we named it VerifyCons. Now, VerifyCons is very, very unique and special on the market. Just like we have been the very first to have our whole network SSL secured with the HTTPS in our URLs, our domain URLs. We have been the first to have that for our whole network. We beat Google, all of them. They were after us. We were the first to have two-factor authentication standard with our master PIN and one-time PIN system, which is safer than any other two-factor authentication out there because it does not rely on any third-party technology or device. So even if for some terrible reason your phone is messed up, you can still log in through our SafeZone login, soon to be PernamPass login, with your master PIN and one-time PIN combination. And now we are the first to have three-factor authentication that is bi-directional. And now this is very, very important for you to understand. This bi-directional means not only are we verifying that you are the rightful account holder and able to access your account, but you are able to verify that this website is a legitimate website because it is the only site that would have your Verif icons on it. So that is the bi-directional, and that was one of the things that I mentioned in those points, was about knowing when you're on a fake website or not. How can you tell? Some of these scammers are so good at programming, and they copy the websites down to almost a T. There are just tiny, tiny nuances that you would pick up if you were paying attention. But sometimes, and this is really the most times that it happens, is just people are being too quick, and you just panic when you get that bait email or that phone call that says that you owe some astronomical amount of money, or that your car warranty is expired, or whatever scam of the day they use. They will always target what is a current event. So like when COVID came out, there was a giant rush of COVID scammers offering everything from cures to money to passport cards and all kinds of things. So be aware, these scammers follow trends. So with our bi-directional verification, you will know that when you are on one of our websites in the Safe Zone and with Unicorn Network, that you are on a legitimate Unicorn Network website. Now, the cool thing about these awesome icons, Verif icons, is they are multicultural and multi-language friendly. In fact, it is an image, so no words are required. So that makes it easy for all of us to understand, even if you don't understand English or some other language. And just like with our master pin and one-time combination, you have what's out there, a multi-factor authentication, where it uses multiple things to verify you, but all of those use a third-party device. You're, again, getting a message to your email or to your cell phone or whatever. With our Verif icons, no third-party device or software is needed. So it's absolutely perfect for that. And you are the only one who knows the correct answer to security questions. So again, just like with your master pin, we don't know the specifics of what you chose. You need to remember that. And we'll talk more about this in just a moment. So the point, though, is nobody else knows your answer, only you. So that keeps it super secure for your security. And as I mentioned, by using these Verif icons, this bi-directional simultaneously confirms that the website you're on is legitimate and that you have legitimate access. So this is great. And that's one of the things with these phishing attacks, is they'll trick you with some message, some email or call or text message or whatever it is, some ad on the internet, and then you go to this fake website and you think that it's legitimate, so you start entering your details, your password, your login credentials and everything. And then that is where they hook you, and then they get you deeper by asking you more questions. What's your bank account number? What's your full name? What's your address? What's your, mother's maiden names, boyfriend, girlfriend thing? They'll ask you all kinds of crazy questions. So with Verif icons, you can easily confirm that this website is legit and you're good to go. So that is absolutely excellent. So let's check it out. Now, when the Pernem Pass opens, you'll see a box that says password and Verif icons. So you obviously click the little change link and it will open a new box for you. And at the top, you'll see a link. Click here to set up Verif icons. So you would go to that link, of course. And then you'll see this great page here. And it reads that you need to select 3 Verif icons for our bi-directional 3-factor authentication. When you log in with your Pernom Pass on any participating website, your personal 3 Verify-Cons will be displayed after you enter your Pernom and password. Thus, you know the website is not a phishing website because there is no chance that a phishing website would know your personal Verify-Cons. So that's awesome. And you can see we're starting out with 6 different sets. Each of these set has a unique group of icons. Obviously, the donkey that I showed you earlier is part of the first set there on the left, the top left row. We'll look at that a little bit more here. And then there's another set of animals, a set of flags. There's some other little icons, and these are currency icons where you'll see different types of currencies. And then there's some other different images. If you don't like animals or other stuff, you can pick some other cool images. And now, even as it is right now, there is roughly, it's like a 1 in 34 million chance that someone would be able to guess your 3 Verify-Cons. And we are adding more of these sets over time. So eventually, the people trying to guess your icons would have a 1 in a billion chance. So that means that we're making Unicorn Network websites a billion times safer just by implementing this bi-directional 3-factor authentication. So, hey, we like that. Very cool. So, for example, if you click on the first little donkey, cute little donkey there, and see that you'll see all kinds of cute little animals in this particular Verify-Con set, and you can pick 3 from one set. You could pick, 1 from each individual set, however you like to do it. When you choose an icon or Verify-Con, then you'll see it display up in the box. And yes, you can even pick an ice cream if you'd like. But say you pick one and then you click to confirm your selection. Well, it will remind you that you need to select 3 Verify-Cons. So pick the 3 that you prefer. But maybe you decide, you change your mind and you don't want to pick the ice cream Verify-Con. You want to pick a different image. Well, when you mouse over it, you'll see a red X. And when you click on that, it will disappear. And then you'll be back where you can pick whatever 3 ones you want. And then once you have the 3 that you like, then you will be able to confirm. Now, before we confirm, I want to point out one specific thing. The Verify-Cons are various different designs. Some might be for similar animals, but they might be doing different things. Like, for example, in this image here, you can see this hippo, the purple hippo, has its mouth open. Well, there might be one with a mouth closed or where it's running. Like this leopard is standing still. There might be one where the leopard is doing something different, like running or jumping or something like that. And this bear, it has its arms in like it's giving a hug or something. Well, there might be a bear with a different kind of design to it or a different color or something like that. And yes, you will find some unicorns of various different types. But that doesn't mean just because you're a unicorn member, and of course we love Unicorn Network member, I should say, and of course we all love unicorns. Don't only pick the unicorns. There's so many different things. You could pick a flag just because you like the design of the flag. You don't even have to know what country it's from. Whatever you prefer. Or pick the ones that you hate the most. It doesn't matter. All you have to do is pick 3, but make sure that you note what specific icons or Verify-Cons that you are choosing. So when you are writing down your note, just like when you wrote down your master pen and one-time pen and your Pernom, make a note on that same paper where you have that information stored securely, which Verif icons you chose, and be specific for yourself for later reference. So that way you know that when you see the different icons when you're verifying things, that you will know that yes, that is your chosen Verif icon, or no, that's close but not yours, you know. So make a note of those details when you're choosing your Verif icon. So that is very cool, and just another way how both influence and our core values are still driving how we do things every single day. So that is one update. Now, I have a lot more to share with you. And next, we're going to talk more about the Global Local Digital Loyalty Network. Now, definitely you'll want to pay attention for this portion. So, we talked about in our previous webinar how the Digital Loyalty Network is comprised of digital cashback, digital rewards, and digital prizes. And today, I'm happy to share with you that there is also a digital rewards token. Now, this digital rewards token is very interesting. Let's take a look at more detail. So, this digital rewards token is a multi-blockchain technology. It is both on the Yum chain and the Stellar chain. On the Yum chain, you can see on the left, the digital rewards token handles operations within the digital loyalty network. So, or not handles operations, but does operational functions, okay? And it is known as the DRY token on the Yum chain. Of course, the token is the DR token, but when it's on the Yum chain, we've added the Y to it to differentiate them. And so on the Yum chain, it is the DRY token. I'm sure somebody's going to call it the dry token because that's how you spell dry. So the token on the Yum chain is used for collecting digital rewards, redeeming digital rewards, business transactions, and of course, you'll be able to see it in your digital wallet center. Now, what we've previously been using for free Yum for these different digital rewards will be converting to the DRY token. So instead of receiving free Yum, you'll receive the DRY token. And I'll explain this more, so just hang tight. Keep listening. And of course, as I mentioned, you can see it in your digital wallet center. Now, with the Stellar chain, this will be used for trading. Of course, on the Stellar chain, it's called the DR token. It will be listed on exchanges, and of course, you can trade it on those exchanges, and the exchanges will be accepting BTC and altcoins to buy the DR token. And of course, you have to have whatever wallet system is for those particular exchanges and blockchains. So essentially, this is creating a bridge coin for Yum, because you will be able to convert your Yum and free Yum into the DRY tokens, and then if you want, you can then go across the bridge and convert them to DR tokens, and then trade those tokens on the different exchanges available there. Now, some definite key things to understand. First of all, The Stellar blockchain is on the public blockchain space, along with Bitcoin and other altcoins, and it is still the wild, wild west out there. In fact, in some cases, it's getting even worse. So you are on your own. So you are not required to convert any DRY tokens to DR tokens. You can keep them as DRY tokens and stay on the Yum chain, and you'll be able to collect rewards, redeem digital rewards, do business transactions, and all of those things with Yum and free Yum and the DRY tokens. For those who want to, though, you do have the option with the bridge coin by converting it, or as a bridge coin by converting the DRY tokens to DR tokens. Now, there will be some limitations in how many can be converted from DRY into DR tokens. It might be a weekly limit of maybe $50 per week. We will see how everything goes. And if we see people trying to beat the system, we can add further limits or close the bridge entirely. This is an opportunity for everyone that we are creating because influence is one of our core values, and we do have some people who have stated that they would like this kind of function. So that is why we have created it. Now, there is a fixed value for the DRY token. It is a stable voucher, essentially. It's not a stable token. It's not a stable coin. It's a stable voucher, meaning that it has a fixed value of 0.01 US cents, so 1 penny. It is worth 1 US penny for each DRY token. We won't know any kind of pairs or any details as far as what may or may not be available on the Stellar blockchain and other things. We'll have to see how that develops, so just be aware of that. And if people go on Stellar and they decide to dump the value, that won't matter for those of us staying in the safe zone with the Yum chain, because it's the people who are dumping it who will lose. Those of us who are staying in the Yum chain, we're fine. Everything's good. So all is good. Obviously, don't go and dump it, because you're just kicking yourself in the foot, and you're losing. If you dump it on other blockchains, you are the one losing. Nobody else. You are losing. And if something happens and this bridge has to be closed down, then it is what it is. So take care of it and respect it. Like I mentioned, this is an opportunity for you. If you want it, you are not required. You're perfectly fine to stay in the safe zone and enjoy all of the safety and security and privacy that we provide here in the safe zone. So if you do choose to use this bridge, you are on your own. We will not offer any kind of support on how to set up a public wallet or anything related to how to do things on public blockchains. There will be no support for any of that stuff. So if you enter in the wrong address when you're transferring things and all of it is lost, I'm sorry, all of it is lost. There's absolutely nothing we can do. So do be aware of those. As always, be very safe, be careful, and, learn before you take action. Now, these things are expected to launch in the coming weeks, and we will be having a webinar next week, either Monday or Tuesday, to talk more about all of these updates that are happening. So be sure to keep an eye out for that. It'll be announced sometime tomorrow. So, but we have more awesome news too as well. Let's talk more about digital prizes. We have the Safecracker Club coming out very soon. This will be one of the first places where the digital rewards token will be utilized. You'll be able to win the digital rewards tokens, and then you can, on a limited basis, convert them to cash each week if you are the winner, depending on how much you win, if you get the whole number correct or not. So keep an eye out for that, and we'll be having more updates there as we get closer to launching this. I just wanted to give you a quick update on that. Now we also have some updates on digital rewards. So we've talked about previously how our news pages have the ability for you to collect digital rewards when you read the news. Well, we have our German page, Nachrichten Center. Nachrichten Center. Maybe I said that okay. I'm learning. Anyway, for our German members, now you too can receive digital rewards for reading news in German. So that's awesome. So keep an eye out for that. And we've got a brand new news page called Digital News Center. And this is so cool. This is where you can specifically check news on digital topics like blockchain, crypto, cybersecurity, digital assets, fintech, internet, and even metaverse, for however long that will be relevant. So the cool thing, though, about the Digital News Center is, for example, when you go to cybersecurity, you'll see articles from a variety of news sources. So even as far as darkreading.com, which is a news source that I share frequently on the Safe Zone radio show, because they are one of the premier places for security professionals to get updates on relevant security news. So if a security professional is using that website, then us as laymen, we definitely should pay attention to those kinds of websites too, because they're talking about things that professionals are interested in as well. So that's useful information for you. And you'll also see other news organizations like Forbes or hstoday.us, all kinds of different news sources that you'll find on digitalnews.center. And again, crypto news, you'll find different sources like cryptonews.com, but also things like investopedia.com or fortune.com. So you can find all kinds of news on a variety of digital related topics at digitalnews.center. Whoops, too fast. So that is very cool. Now, another great update specific to all of our news sites, that is internet24.news, digitalnews.center, and Nachrichten.center. All of those pages now have the ability to invite others with your referral links. So, of course, as usual, you add your pernum at the end of the URL. So, for example, digitalnews.center/your pernum. So there you go. And you can invite others and share news articles to invite others. Of course, before you start inviting others, give it a test run on your side. Make sure that everything is working good for you before you go and start sharing it. So very cool things going on there. And another place where you will be able to collect digital rewards is Feedbacker. And this is honest feedback from verified customers. And you can see a mock-up of the site. This will be launching very soon. And it says, welcome to Feedbacker, the ultimate destination for honest and unbiased customer reviews. On our website, customers can easily share and read reviews of products, services, companies, and businesses. Get rewarded for every feedback with up to 3% of the amount that you paid at the business, with a maximum of $10 per feedback as a digital reward. Redeem valuable perks at the Digital Reward Center or spend your digital rewards at participating businesses. So this is absolutely great. You'll be able to share your honest feedback on all different kinds of things. And then, as you can see here, there is a business name search at the top and a city. So you can search by the business, and I'm sure we'll have some other things there. And of course, it'll be filled up with some feedback for everyone. And you can see that at Feedbacker, we believe that everyone should have the opportunity to make an informed decision. That's why we have a strict no tolerance policy for reviews that are not based on personal experience or are biased in any way. So obviously, you can't review your own business. Duh. We are committed to maintaining the highest standards of customer feedback and providing the best possible experience for our customers. We invite you to explore our website and discover the reliable and trustworthy information you need to make the best decisions. We are confident that you will find our reviews to be useful and helpful when making decisions about products and services. And of course, right now, because it's a mock-up, there's no reviews because it's not open yet. But you can imagine that there will be a bunch of reviews on a variety of topics. And it's great because it will be for not just businesses, but products. So if you were to go to your local restaurant and have a fantastic meal, you could write a feedback or review about the meal that you got at that restaurant. So very important, you have to have made a purchase at whatever business you are recommending, or not even recommending, that you are leaving feedback about on Feedbacker. And I mentioned it doesn't even have to be a recommendation. You can come on Feedbacker if you had the worst meal in your life at this restaurant. You could come on Feedbacker and tell the world about it. You know, if you had your carpets cleaned and they stained them and they look worse now than they did before, leave your feedback at Feedbacker. It does not have to be positive feedback. It needs to be honest feedback. That's what's most important. Honest feedback from confirmed customers. So you will need to provide some proof that you actually made that purchase. So be aware of those things. But as it said before, with every feedback given, you will be rewarded. So that is absolutely fantastic. And we've got a lot going on. So stay tuned for more cool things coming out. As I mentioned, there will be the next webinar next week on Monday or Tuesday. So definitely keep an eye out for that announcement in What's Up. And if there's any other topic that you are looking for more information on, rest assured we are on it. And we will give you updates as soon as we have them. So always keep an eye out at What's Up under the announcements for updates as available. And one last thing before we go, for all of our musically inclined unicorns out there, if you would like to get your music played on the Safe Zone radio show or maybe featured in a webinar, I have the perfect way for you to do it. All you have to do is email me, Kate, C-A-T-E, at safezone.info, Kate at safezone.info. Email me with a information about your music, your Pernum, and we will set up the download through the safetransfer.xyz. So definitely have fun. I look forward to hearing some of our awesome musical unicorns out there. And we'll be, of course, having a lot more things coming out for music-related stuff and so much more. We're working on a number of different things right now on a variety of topics. So that is very cool and exciting. And let me just double check my notes to make sure I covered everything. And I think, yeah, everything is good. And we will be, of course, anything else we'll be putting in the recap. So be sure to read that when it is out. Should be out in just a couple of days. So I want to thank you all so much for your time and hope you have a great rest of your day or night. Happy health to everybody. Be safe, be strong, and be fearless. What's up? And all the best to everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Let's do some good.
Thank you so much, everyone. Just one thing, I saw a little question in the comments there about why or can we have a webinar answering questions. Absolutely, folks. Go in WhatsUp. That is the place where we can organize this, because it is best to have your questions ahead of time, so that way we can make sure we have the latest information to give you on those topics. So definitely someone feel free to start a topic in the Power of We under the news and announcements section. There is a section called Power of We in the news. Create one topic and everybody post your questions in the one topic, and then we will take a look at that, and at a future time we'll do a Q&A webinar. So all is good. So there you go, folks. All the best to everyone, and if you have some kind of support question, then contact the support team. Okay, that is the best way to get help as you need. So thank you so much, everyone, and we will see you next time. What's up, and all the best to you. Bye bye.